Hey everybody, it's Tony with Big T Bariatric, and I'm back at you with another video. Today it is Wednesday, March 29th. I hope you're having a wonderful day so far. If you could do me a huge favor, look down below, right down there, and see if you're subscribed to this channel. If you're not, please hit that button, leave a like, leave a comment, and let me know what you think about this video. Even if you disagree with me on some points, I'd love to talk with you about it, and I'm sure some of you will disagree with me on what I have to say, because I have some very strong opinions on some of the stuff I'm about to talk about. But today's video is about Adrienne Bennett. Most of you may not know her. Maybe you do know her. She's not a fat liberation popular figure like maybe Tess Holliday is, but she was up and coming. And so a lot of what she talked about, according to her own page here on Instagram, is no more hiding. And that's what she even called her Patreon, is no more hiding Adrienne. So apparently she made a promise to herself that she wasn't going to hide herself anymore, that she was going to come out and be a part of this movement and talk about how wonderful it is being a fat woman, and just sort of advocating for herself, especially when it comes to traveling, because apparently she wanted to be well-traveled fat activist who talked about how you can be a fat girl and travel wherever you want to travel as long as you advocate for yourself. So a lot of her content, she did travel to Ghana, and she had several videos where she talks about what it was like flying as a fat person, how she needed 2 seats, how she needed an employee at the airport to wheel her across to her terminal, I guess, and just how she needed to advocate for herself and for her needs as a fat person. And I'm not going to really go through too much of her Instagram here. But she does have several videos of her eating different Ghanaian foods. Um, some of it doesn't look too bad. Like this one here looks like some kind of an omelet maybe on some bread, and she's just eating it and talking about fat positivity and stuff like that, and how you need to slow down and enjoy your life and everything else like that. Um, so I mean, a lot of people can look at her stuff and see how inspirational it is. She has a light about her. She does shine out positivity and joy. So she's not some of the more aggressive fat activists that we've ever covered on here, but she is a warning to fat activists, and I'll get into that in a moment. But the one post that I wanted to share with you guys was this one. When it's your 39th birthday and you have promised yourself to enjoy your body, no more hiding. I thought this was very interesting because she is getting up there in age, 39 years old, um, and she's talking about how you need to enjoy your body. And she's just sitting up there and just kind of basking in the sun and laughing and just putting her hands over her belly and like, man, I just enjoy myself right now, and I love my body how it is. I don't need to change. Just kind of putting it in the face of anybody who's ever doubted her. And she got to live out her dream and move to Ghana. Here's another one. When you stop comparing your body and start enjoying it, no more hiding. I mean, does it really look like she's enjoying her body there? I'm not trying to make fun of her, so don't come at me. I have a point to all of this, but yeah, I mean, she could barely walk out there, and she just like dances for a few minutes. It looks like she's enjoying herself, but the amount of stress on her body as she's just walking a few steps out there, I mean, and she says, y'all, I miss being outdoors and letting the sun kiss me all over. I guess today I have to settle for the leaves hyping me in the rain, patting me on the back. During the summer, I spent most of my days dancing in the yard, focused on enjoying me. The grounding process has been essential to me as it teaches me to present myself with myself or to be present with myself, and the byproduct has been I do not invest that time or energy on comparing myself to others. How do you stop comparing who you are, where you are, the body you embody to any other person? How do you liberate yourself from the comparison trap? I'm currently exploring these questions and more. Look forward to sharing my thoughts with you all. Do you think comparing ourselves to one another is a good thing? So when we talk about fat activism and stuff like that, at least for me, on my side, I'm not trying to tell people that they need to focus on being skinny, that they cannot love themselves. Like something that Dr. Phil was saying in some of the videos we reacted to, that you need to separate that. You can have self esteem and love yourself while at the same time focusing on your health. And my friend Scout, which we're going to do a live stream tomorrow, Thursday, at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. We're doing a collaboration. We're talking about the whole does fat bodies need to be liberated conversation. So we're going to talk about that tomorrow. It's going to be very interesting. So tune in. But yes, Scout's video yesterday, I made a post and I said this very same thing. I said, saying that you love yourself while encouraging yourself to remain fat, it's not love. Obesity is self-harm. You are harming yourself with every pound that you gain. And people don't realize that. We're not saying you have to be skinny. We're not saying that you have to embody the modern beauty standards. I don't care about modern beauty standards. I don't care about none of that. But you are harming yourself every single pound that you gain. And people don't realize that. So while they're saying you need to love yourself and enjoy yourself, you can't enjoy yourself with a body like that. You just can't. And I think she proved it because she was hiding in shame, which I'm not saying that you should do either. I'm not saying you should hide yourself in shame, but the fact that you were hiding in shame, and then suddenly the fat positivity people get a hold of you, and then you say, okay, why I could become popular. I can get out there and dance in the rain and show off all my roles, and people are going to subscribe to me, and they're going to follow me on Instagram. And then I can get popular and I can get rich doing that. And then I can travel and do the things that I want to do. It's like this one here. When your inner child says, time to grab your plate. Today I'm thankful for my family, my body, and this turkey leg I'm about to enjoy. I'm guessing this was Thanksgiving. Shout out to all the big sexy women in the world. That's what I like. All right. I mean, yeah, you're just dancing around because it's Thanksgiving. You're about to get a hold of that turkey leg. It sounds like that it's really the food that makes you happy. But anyways, just to kind of get off of the Instagram thing here, she does have a video that I wanted to share with you guys. Let's get into it.
Yes, I'm still in bed, but I was just thinking about how much society tells us that you can't enjoy yourself unless you are an example of success in various ways, right? So, most immediately, I think about for myself, like I'm a fat woman, and success in this society is thin, is in shape. It's part of what is beautiful, which is part of the social currency. And the audacity of me to even think about enjoying who I am in this present moment and not putting every bit of my focus on achieving thinness or um, um, shrinking my body, changing my body, getting weight loss surgery, or just your complete focus on this future version.
Again, we're not saying that you have to do that to fit in with any beauty standard, but you should consider doing it for your own health. That's just what we're saying.
It's just it's to some literally think it's like it's an atrocity. It's like you've done something morally bad, and I'm just
Well, it's not morally bad to enjoy yourself and to have a good time and to want to live a good, healthy life. Like, that's what your standard should be, to live a good, healthy, happy life. And you are happiest when you are healthy. Again, it's not about following any kind of social standard. Again, I don't care about that stuff. But it is a moral issue when you regard the fact that you become so big that you're eating several days worth of food in a single meal. You don't think that's a moral issue? You don't think that's a problem?
It's like, um, why is it if a person, and this also shows up if you don't have money, poor, the same thing shows up if you're poor or you're not socially cool or influential, popular, all these things. Like if you're not a person that can be charismatic or interesting and cultivate popularity, you get shamed. You get shamed. You get called out.
I don't think anybody shames or calls people out for not having a charismatic personality or for not having money. You're just not able to enjoy some of the other things that people who do have money enjoy. You just simply can't afford them. So maybe you feel like you're ignored and you can't become popular or whatever. I don't know what she's going on about, but I just don't see that. I can agree if she's talking about how um, you're looked down upon for being poor. That is a problem. We shouldn't think of people as less than human because they don't have money. Like we shouldn't treat people that way. But she's trying to conflate that with her being obese and the treatment she receives from people telling her that she needs to lose weight.
If you're a person that does not have financial resources, if you're poor, you get shamed, you get called out. And the audacity of you to consider the idea of like, well, I'm just going to enjoy my authentic self at this present moment in time. You know, what all that it encompasses. I'm just going to enjoy it. I'm going to enjoy these moments that I have. The audacity. Why aren't you using your time? Why aren't you using every bit of your energy to achieve what success is? And I'm like, where are we getting these cues? Where are we getting this understanding? I mean, I feel like there's so many places, right? Like directly we get it from the people we love, we interact with most, the media, yes.
So it's wrong for your family to want you to be happy, to be healthy, to be successful, and to see certain parts of your life that can be changed to influence your happiness and your health and your success. I mean, the people that love us, that truly love us, want us. If you're overweight and you're struggling in your life because of your size, and they see your miserable existence, and they want you to change that because they love you and they want you to be happy and they want you to live a very long time, that's not a problem that you need to find a solution to. The solution is to lose weight because you go from being miserable to being healthy, and healthy brings on happiness. I get called out for saying that all the time. Well, I'm fat and I'm happy, so you're a liar. All right, whatever. If you're truly happy, if you can look down at yourself and say you are truly happy being that big, then you wouldn't have to force it, right? You wouldn't have to get on camera and convince yourself and convince everybody else that you're so happy. You would just be out there enjoying your life. But she's trying to convince herself and convince everybody else that she's happy. But your family tries to influence you in a way that brings out the true happiness and the true positivity. They see you living your life not being happy, hiding yourself in shame, and so they suggest to you that maybe you should lose some weight. Because your weight also directly translates to having that less money. They want you to be successful. They want you to find a good career. Like those are good positive things that people in your life want you to have, and so they try to influence you in that direction. That's not a negative thing. Maybe you should listen to what they have to say. Maybe listening to them will help you live a long, happy, healthy life. But you're just engorging yourself on food because you're truly unhappy. And the sign of that is because you are addicted to food and you're using food as a coping mechanism with something. So you're not happy. It's proof is right there in your size.
But I think on a bigger level, I feel like, honestly, I feel like it's a part of like the capitalist system. And I'm not against the power of capitalism, right? Like I'm not that person, whatever that person is. I'm not that person that's like, oh, capitalism is bad. I feel like any system
So I don't know how the capitalist system is getting a hold of your family and friends and all of your loved ones, and out of capitalism, for the purposes of capitalism, trying to get you to be healthy. I just don't understand that. Maybe she's saying here on a deeper level that capitalism is what drives thinness, and unless you're thin, then they're going to try to sell you all types of products to get you thin. And there is some of that out there. I'm not going to lie. There are people who make billions of dollars off of skinny products and weight loss products and this and that. And it's true. It's just like any beauty standard, there's billions of dollars behind it. Every piece of clothing that you wear that you think looks good has billions of dollars behind it. I mean, that's just part of the capitalism society, I guess. But there's no capitalism behind your family seeing you being obese and wanting you to live a long, happy life, and knowing that if you stay the size that you are not going to live very much longer.
is bad. So I don't want to go on that tangent. But I'm just saying, like, the system that we're under is one that says your worth is tied through your productivity. And productivity is your social currency. Productivity is your ability to generate wealth in this system. Productivity is your ability to be influential and powerful and um, um, gather people's attention, right? Like, think about.
Well, this is where people are going to disagree with me, probably, is that we all live in a society. We do. And you either contribute to that society or you take from that society. And which person do you want to become? There are so many people today, especially the younger generations, who believe that they are entitled to everything. If they want it, they should have it. Just like I was watching a video from Foodie Beauty and I was thinking about doing a reaction to her, but I found her so boring that I didn't do it. But she was talking about how you need to advocate for yourself and take up as much space as possible when going through an airport. And she was talking about the same thing. Adrienne here was talking about the same thing. You need to advocate for yourself. But you think you're so entitled that you need to demand the airline gives you a second seat. You need to demand that someone pushes you, takes the time out of their busy day and their busy schedule to push you through an airport because you can't walk through there on your own. Like that's what advocating for yourself gets. It's taking from society. But so many people are so entitled, they think they deserve everything and that everything should be given to them and they don't have to work for it. If they start a new job, that they need a huge salary or else they're not even going to work. Like it's just so there's so much entitlement in the world today that people feel like that they need to take from society rather than the people who know that they need to contribute to it. They need to pay their taxes. They need to um, just be kind and show love to other people, just giving back to society rather than taking from it. And the more takers that we have, the less there's going to be for everybody else. So, I mean, I understand if you are completely disabled due to no function of your own. You got into a car accident and you broke your back, or you fell off a roof, or you were born with some kind of disability. That's understandable. We need to take care of people who are in need in that way. If you are poor and you can't afford food, we should help feed you. Like, I believe in that. I'm not saying that people who need assistance are taking advantage of the system. Like that system should exist to provide to help people. But if you are fully capable of doing things and you are not taking it and you are just taking advantage of the system your whole life, your entire life, because you feel you're entitled to it, that's something else completely. So yeah, that's what being part of society is. You should contribute to society.
Celebrity, right? People like look up to celebrities because for whatever reason they've been placed in a place to be socially influential, you know, and it's currency. It is a currency. It's a way of exchanging and people see that as valuable. So, um, I think there is a real dilemma for people with saying, well, I don't have those things. Maybe I don't have the money in place. I don't have the, you know, the beauty currency, the social capital of beauty working in my favor. I don't have the influence. So I guess that means I'm not worthy of joy. I'm not worthy to celebrate who I am. I guess I'm not worthy to be like happy because
I mean, I get that there's a lot of that out there. There are some truly miserable people out there who just want to stick it to everybody who doesn't have what they have. But I think where the fat positivity movement is sort of hijacking that is because we think you should focus on being healthy, not um, becoming part of the beauty standards of our society, but that you should stop trying to accept yourself as being fat because fat is self-harm. You are harming yourself, and the bigger you are, the more you take from society, the more you need people to take care of you, the harder it is on your family as a whole. Like, we see it every single day when I do these reactions. How much the family has to pull together to take care of you, and how some of these people can't even take care of their own kids. Their kids are taking care of them because they can't take care of themselves. Like, yeah, being obese and deciding that you want to stay obese because everybody needs to cater to you and your addiction, that is a moral thing.
I have to find a way to achieve those things so that then I am successful.
Yeah, you don't have to achieve the modern beauty standards, but you should work to achieve your health. We're not saying you're less than human because you're overweight. You're still a human being. But we are the ones who are truly showing you love by telling you need to focus on that you need to focus on your own health. That's what we're saying. That's what our message is. If you truly loved yourself and wanted to be happy, then you would focus on being healthy. Happiness and healthiness are linked, and you can't separate them. But whether or not you are a human being and you deserve love, yeah, you're a human being and you deserve love. But you can't disassociate happiness from your health.
Right? This is me just thinking about this thought process. I'm not saying it's wrong. There is a real, there is a, I'm not saying it's wrong, it's right. I'm saying that this is definitely something that is being conditioned, that is being like inserted into people's minds and understanding, and it's ultimately leading to people's way of action and living or lack or not living in this world, right? Like it leads to people hiding aspects of who they are because they have done the calculation and recognize that like, oh, so these certain aspects of me are not seen valuable in a society that says this is what's considered successful, and so like I'm not gonna even like show those parts of me, and it gets us in our heads, you know. It keeps us in our heads, and we don't go into our bodies, and we don't feel how we truly feel, and we don't express how we truly want to express ourselves, and we don't acknowledge the things that we truly need to feel enjoyment in who we are, because we're saying, well, we're going to take all that energy and we're going to put it on getting to that future sense of that future self. And then when we get to that future self, then I'll be happy. Then I'll be able to really enjoy life fully. And I think I don't think, I know there is something wrong with that. There's something wrong with that approach. I think it's limiting people's ability to fully experience the time that they have been given.
Why are you talking about enjoying the time that you've been given? I mean, I know this is going to sound insensitive to some of you, but enjoying the time that you're given is different when you're talking about obesity. Because when you're obese, you dramatically shorten the amount of time that you have. Now you could say, well, okay, well, I need to focus on getting healthy so that I can live longer and be happy and enjoy my life to a greater degree than you are if you're obese. Like enjoying your life is one thing. Like you can be happy and positive and stuff like that, just being a little overweight, but the bigger you get, the more misery that you bring onto yourself. And you're blaming society for pressuring you to want to lose weight. You're blaming everybody else than your own self for bringing on your own misery. And so you hijack this fat positivity movement to try to bring yourself some joy and to accept yourself as you are, but you're contributing to your own death. You're contributing to your own misery. And the bigger you get, the more miserable you become, and the more you're going to want to hide, and the more pain you're going to be in. And the proof is in the pudding in this. Because I was actually looking through some of the comments, and it's just people saying, hey, I found your channel, and I'm inspired by your thoughts because we share similar views on a lot of these things. I know exactly what you mean. This hits home. But then a few comments later, right here, I loved your wisdom, encouragement, and self-confidence. Continue to rest in peace. I was like, wow, rest in peace? Did she die? Well, then I came across, oops, I came across this. Even in death, fat people aren't allowed to rest. Really? All bodies are deserving of love, respect, regardless of your size, gender, ability, or socioeconomic status. All right. I recently learned about the passing of fat activist and content creator Adrienne Bennett. Adrienne was on a personal journey to learn to love herself fully, a journey she graciously shared with us via her platform, No More Hiding. I'm hesitant to admit that upon hearing of her untimely passing, rather than reminiscence on the joy and light she emanated, her laughter and her kind words and vulnerability, my mind immediately went to what others would say about her. Adrienne was a person living in a fat body, not a small fat body, a larger fat body. When larger people die, friends, family, and the general public are often quick to point to weight and deduce two things. One, had they simply lost weight, they would still be alive. Because they were fat on some level, their death was not only imminent but also justified. People are thinking that because it's true. She died because of her weight. Her weight contributed to her death. She was talking about living her life and wanting to enjoy life, but she didn't get to enjoy her life because she died. And then it goes into COVID-19 because I'm assuming she died from COVID, which being overweight contributes to more COVID deaths. You're more likely to die being overweight, or more likely to die from COVID if you're overweight. And I know being elderly and stuff like that too has something to do with it. There are skinny people who do die from COVID, but being obese makes you more likely to die from COVID. And I even said in an earlier video, you can die from the flu, you can die from the cold. Like most people survive those things, but you become more vulnerable to it the bigger you are because it restricts your lungs. And you already have restricted lung capacity due to your size. Your weight is pressing down on your lungs, making it harder to breathe. So if you get COVID, or if you get the flu, or you get an pneumonia or something like that, you are more likely to die than someone who is normal sized. So yeah, Adrienne Bennett is dead right now. I'm not trying to be insensitive to it. Rest in peace. I feel for her family and friends and the people that loved her. But the people that loved her, the people that she was sort of throwing under the bus in another in that video earlier in that video, knew something that came to be true. That if she did not focus on her health, if she did not lose the weight, that she would not live very much longer. She didn't even make it to 40 years old. She died the same age that I am right now. I was blessed enough that I got COVID twice and survived it both times. I didn't have too many health issues with it. But She should be a warning to anybody who wants to aspire to be a fat activist. She didn't rise to the popularity of Tess Holliday and some of the others, but she was out there amongst them spewing nonsense that is contributing to people's deaths. And I think it's wrong. But anyways, I'm going to leave it right there. This video is long enough. Let me know down below if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. But either way, I hope you have a great rest of your day. I hope that if you're a fat activist, something clicked in your brain. I hope I made sense throughout this. But either way, I hope you have a great rest of your day. I love you all. God bless you.